Hello everybody, it is Coltrane again, and highlight of the day. Okay, today's highlight was this purchase of Francis Bacon's essays. Let me make it very clear. I don't know much about anything. Okay, so when I read this, you are just getting very basic bits of analysis. I'm kind of summarizing some points. I even have to search online just to help me understand, because after reading the first page of this, I was very, very confused. But I would like to share my opinion, and it also helps me consolidate my knowledge. So, let us begin. So, the essay begins with the line, "What is truth?" said jesting Pilate, and would not stay for an answer. Before I go any further, I didn't know who Pilate was, and then I found out about Pontius Pilate, who was the Roman governor who basically crucified Jesus. I didn't know that, but there you go. He asked this very deep question, what is truth? If I'm honest, I still don't even know. Here I have my little notebook where I made some notes, and I'll read off them and tell you my thoughts. So, Bacon calls truth the sovereign good of human nature. So, regarding the quote with Pilate about what is truth, there is an implication that there was an answer, although Pilate did not want to actually stay around and listen to the answer. So, Bacon talks about how you can stay safe with lies, and that lies can protect yourself. Going back to the Pilate point, where he knows there's going to be an answer, but he leaves, okay? You can see this as a problem today. It's a common problem today, and it will be a common problem tomorrow. It is that when there is an answer, when there is some truth, people just don't want to hear it, especially if it offends a prejudice, or it challenges some old universal tradition that has never actually been looked into. So this all leads back to the point, it seems, that why don't people confront truth? And Bacon asks, why does a person lie if it does not bring pleasure, as does poetry, or does it bring profit, as in business? So instead of looking at why a person loves lies, I thought, why does a person struggle with truth? Bacon, in response, basically says that people are involved with lies, meaning that people are inclined to dislike truth. He says that it is a natural but false love of lies. He also makes it very clear that truth is something that is hard to acquire. You do acquire it through hard work, and it also, having truth, knowing truth, it also restricts freedom, simply because it can also restrict imagination, which is what I would go on to now. Truth is boring. That's what it is. A life of pure truth is dead. Why? Because it does not allow for hope. It doesn't really allow for doubt. It doesn't even allow for fancying the future, because these things are not, I guess, objective truth. Even poetry was accused of being false, not by Bacon, but by a priest back in the day, one of the priests, who actually said that poetry is wine for the devils. Francis does, I guess he kind of disagrees, because he says this is only a shadow of a lie, that poetry is a wine for a devil. But it was labelled that because it includes lots of imagination. But then again, you could argue that poetry isn't all false or lies, because within poetry, I think what makes good poetry is the fact that there is concealed truth inside. So some of the best poetry, they speak about universal truths. Not like, oh, today is Sunday. No. But like truths as in like love, anger, hatred, betrayal, these universal truths. So poetry does speak on these. Even though it does use imagination, whatever. Poetry's good. And poetry is also what you could call a passing lie, which is what Bacon talks about. He says that passing lies, they do not hurt us. The lies that hurt us are the ones that lie on our mind and that they sink and settle inside. Those lies hurt us, not the glancing ones on a page of poetry. But this still asks the question, what the hell is truth? Francis Bacon, the man, describes truth as, truth may perhaps come to the price of a pearl, that showeth best by day, but it will not rise to the price of a diamond or carbuncle, that showeth best in varied lights. What the hell does that mean? I don't really know. I had to do some research, I had to do some thinking, I had to sit on my own, meditate for a little bit, just to know what the hell that actually meant. It seems that what he is saying is that truth is like a pearl, that it shows best in daylight, but it cannot be like a diamond or a carbuncle that like shines in the dark. So I guess you could infer from that truth cannot show itself in the face of a lie, just as a pearl cannot be seen in the dark. We are left with the question, so what is truth? I still don't really know, even after reading out that little description. He talks about truth and mixing it with lies, the falsehood. And he compares it to like an alloy in coin of gold and silver, which may make the metal work better, but it embasseth it. I don't know what that means, but I think basically what he is trying to say is this. You mix truth and lies, you get an alloy, like gold and silver. So, while those metals are easier to work with, they are impure. So, whatever that means, take it as you will. So, that brings me to the end of that very short essay and a very brief, glancing, shallow analysis of what he spoke about. I don't know if I know less about truth now than before, but I know that poetry, according to the priests back in the day, was the wine for the devils. So that is something interesting. And Pontius Pilate. I didn't know the guy, not personally, but now I know him a tiny bit. So here you are. That is quick, rapid analysis of Francis Bacon's essay of truth. And I will go over some more soon. I hope you enjoyed. Please comment what you think. And if you are more of an expert on this, slap me around. Tell me that I'm wrong. And yeah, start a war in the comments. Anyway, thank you for listening, and goodbye, everybody.